guys, Rick Shaw here on the 20th of January 2021, and we got kind of a cloudy day. It's all around, but hello. Yesterday we went up to through town, went to SNR. My wife stopped up at the mall and the market and all that, and we didn't know what to expect, and it was just like any other day a month and a half ago. Nothing. Now the only thing you can't get in the mall, but you just say, oh, I forgot it. So that was it was no big bother. But there's a big festival. They've been putting up decorations and stuff now for quite a while. But today is the big festival day. Tata invited us over, so I'm cooking a big pot of spaghetti, and we're going to bring that over sometime after lunchtime. And it's nice. It's a nice neutral day. I don't know if it's going to rain or not, but time will tell. They've got some nice covering over there. We're just going to walk over. So that's how we're going to do that. I also see that the Rod Stewart, or what's his name, the guy who stole Rod Stewart's hairdo. Morning, Boris. Old Boris. They're going to back down on all their crap they're doing over in England. There's my little baby. Good morning.
Hello.
Warmed up quick, didn't it? Morning, fellas. So that's good to see that this is starting to go away. Of course, here, it's like that coffee commercial. They're good to the last drop here. They're gonna squeeze every penny they can out, and they're gonna break the economy as much as they can. It's something. That's just what I've seen here ever since years ago when the one guy was put out. Ever since that time, things went downhill here. They said he was no good. Well, back in those days, the peso was $2 for $1, and I thought I was getting a deal then. Now it's 50 of them for $1. So tell me who was right and who was wrong. Was he skimming off the top? I'm sure he was. But I always said this. You look at Bill Gates. He's got a corporation, 22,000. He's a multi-billionaire. Here's a guy that was running a country of about 70 million at the time. Okay? Yeah, he was skimming off the top. Should he have done it? Of course not. But he was doing really good things here. Back in those days, when you look around, they were building everything. Where do you think all them damn trains come from? And he was getting the money. He was getting the money in to get it done. Investments from other countries. He was kicking some serious butt. This place was ready to take off, and then boom, he was out. That woman took over, and man, they shut the engines off, and the plane never took off. That's what I think happened here. Some people may have a different take on it, but it was just a royal shame. Just a royal shame. I think they wanted to, the world wanted to keep this place down to get the cheap labor. Because the labor's cheap here, guys. It's real cheap. And the little guy that works his butt off is never going to get anywhere. But these people who got the money to invest, to build these houses. Look at my house, 45,000, and they pay these guys, 350 pesos a day? Some of them 500. You know what I mean? And they're not on it the whole day. Morning. So let's go down this way. So all the kids were all out walking this morning. I wanted to say last night I was thanking the good Lord like you wouldn't believe. We had such a good walk. We always go for a night walk after dinner, 8 o'clock or so, right before bedtime. And we make a big swing all through. We go up to the guard shack and zigzag up and down the streets. Oh, look at him go. Look at him go. Right. So, and we took the little dog, and we have conversations, guys. You would not believe the conversations we have. And they're learning to take their turns when somebody's talking. That's got to be taught. You can't have a Budinsky. So they're learning. Little Moo, he's getting the hang of it now, too. And so we were having a real blast. But the funny thing was, this was the first night we walked where the security guard was coming up the road. And he's got like blue pants and a blue jacket. And I didn't even notice him coming on the main road. Well, Shakes went into like alert. She was like, her hair come up on her neck, and she started looking and growling, and I'm looking ahead where she was looking. I don't see nothing. Well, then out of the shadow, here comes the security guard, and I'll tell you what, boy, was she after him. She wasn't biting him or nothing, but she was harassing the heck out of him. She did not like him coming in our little area because he always comes over and says hi. Super nice guys. Yeah, they're very nice people. So, oh, she'll be along. So she probably had to poo. We'll slow down for her. She'll be along. Let's go back around the house. Yeah, but she does really good at following us, especially at night. I think she had to poo this morning, so she always takes a side tack out into the grass. She's got to kind of hide. She's a little shy girl. But that was just a wonderful walk. That was like an extra special one last night. We had a blast. This is my life. Some people like to go to bars. There's a little baby. There you go. Come on, baby. And do all that kind of stuff. But guys, this is my heaven right here. This is my deal. I love these kids to no end, and I'm just having a blast. I got my first family stolen from me when they were pretty young, and it ruined them. It absolutely ruined them, just because somebody was so selfish.
The tip of Maddie's skateboard. I fell down now. My butt is hurt.
Oh no! But these ones, they're really something. And we got a nice little family. We're not super rich, but we're doing okay. And we got a nice little house. Everybody pulls in and helps. Like when we're cooking dinner. Just like when I was a kid. They're helping out with Dorothy's peels potatoes. We had a really nice dinner last night. It was I made mashed potatoes, and I like to put raw onions in my mashed potatoes. And I made it with sour cream here after we went big grocery shopping because I found some. But since the kids' first potatoes were with the cream cheese, that's what they like. They didn't like the one with the sour cream. So, and it's good with that. I throw a big clump of butter and a half of a thing of cream cheese, and I smush it. I got a really good potato smasher now. I saw that dang thing, and I just said, boy, that's a potato smasher now. I had one from all the way from when I was a little kid that my mom had. I think it was her mom's, and it was a bad smasher. Just go. And it had like a pointy thing on the end, so you couldn't get your hand over the top. And I wound up grinding that off, but then you couldn't hang it. I had to drill a hole in it, and well, it went the way of the dinosaur. I still have it somewhere. But one thing too, I'm thinking about kitchens here because we were doing all that cooking. We had really good. We had corn, mashed potatoes, and baked chicken, which was really good. But one thing here, when you're building a house, if you come here, make sure you put drawers in. Here in the Philippines, for some reason, they don't do drawers in your kitchens, and I'd love to have some drawers in there. Didn't think about it, and then it was just built. And also, when they do your countertops, mine, they brought the concrete block up, and then they put wood in there. The sink is sitting on wood, so I'd like that to be concrete. Next time I would like to, I'm not gonna fall for that one. I wasn't here, guys. I wasn't allowed to be here because of this COVID bull crap. And now it's coming out all over the entire world. People are raising up. They don't want this Jabba the Hutt. Nobody does. Come on. But they're cramming it down the throats, and we got really bad news. My wife's mother, she just turned 68. Just so she could travel, she just went and got it. And she's got all the information that I've been collecting on this. And she went and got it anyway. That's how these people are. She knows. She was afraid and saying, oh, I don't want to get it because I don't want to die. She was saying that for the longest time, and guess what? She went and got it anyway. See, this is how they think here, guys. They're not Americans, that's for sure. And they'll just bend over when their government says bend over. They'll just do it. And now we heard all of them, all the brothers and sisters. Now we don't know about the sister in Mindoro, if she got it, or their family, probably not. And also the one brother, the construction brother. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it either. But they'll all capitulate in the end. They'll all just say, oh, you know what? They're making me. And I still say that they're going to come back and say, when you get sick and they come back and say, hey, well, I'm sick now because of this. Or my husband died because of this. And you know what the government's going to say? Well, nobody forced you. They're not forcing you. They have no law basis to do this. But they're going underhanded, sneaky, and dirty. That's exactly what they're doing right now. To get you to get, they just want a huge number. And then read what Carl Schwab wrote. I'll see if I can put it at the end. You know, we're nothing to these people. They want rid of us all. He wants to keep a billion, like 500,000 Chinese and some Japanese, because they're submissive, and they've lived under totalitarian rule their whole life, following orders, stuff like that. Everybody else they want rid of, and he even comes out and says they want to start with the white races. But I'll tell you what, you look at a lot of these places over in Africa where they're just saying hell no, you know, and I give them credit. I give them credit for that. You know, just look at Rosa Parks. You know how she got stuff done? She went and sat in the bus and they said move, and she said no. This is how it's got to be done, guys. You just got to say no. You know, if they come in, they're supposed to be coming around through the neighborhood. We're going to have the guards notify us when they come in. But when they say, hey, you got to be tested. No. What? When did they start testing healthy people? The only reason they're testing healthy people is to get them so that they can say you got it, and then you got to pay. That's it, guys. You got to pay. And now they're saying if you don't get, I can't believe this sickness. It's the first one that the problem is because you didn't get this thing. You know, it's just, to me, this is just so ludicrous. And I'm starting to think this is the final push before they give out. I said this in the last video, when it comes to the animals, that, you know, their last gas, they fight with everything they got, you know. So that's just how it goes. And zip. Hunting is a sport, because when you go to buy guns and stuff like that, you go to a sports shop, you know. And what do they call a hunter? A sportsman. So it is a sport guy. And there's a lot of people that love to hunt, and like the Germans used to say, no hunters, no game. You know, and here's the thing, Zip, if there is nobody hunting in a certain area, they got Game Commission come in and cull them anyway, because there get to be too many. And as long as I can remember, in a lot of the states I hunted, one that comes to mind because they really put the figures out, they claim 1 million hunters hit the woods a year on the first day of buck. And they figure there's 1 million deer in the state, and every year they take about 350,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. I used to get a game news from there. And that keeps the population in line, and they're doing just fine. The numbers aren't going down, and people get to hunt. And I'll be honest with you, the only animal that I hunted, look at these guys. The only animal that I only hunted one time was a turkey, because it was absolutely miserable. And when it comes to hunting turkey, I'm going to go down to the store, and I'm going to get the one in the plastic wrapper that says Butterball with all that injectable stuff in it, because that's a good turkey. Wild turkeys suck. So I didn't hunt them no more. You know, but I like pheasant, I like grouse. You know, I did like on Shogun, where you hang it from the feet. You know, I used to put it in something, hang it from the feet, and let it age a few days. And deer, too. That's another thing why people don't like deer meat, is because guys will get it and they'll cut it up that day. They'll cut it up that day, wrap it, and put it in the freezer. You can't do that. You know, there's a law in a lot of states where a cow's got to hang for a minimum of 4 days. And we used to do our cows, we used to hang them for 9. And my deer, I would hang for at least a week or 2. You know, I had myself a little... I don't want to tie it around your waist. Tie it around your waist. But I would hang them. I had myself a little, basically a box with an air conditioner in it if it was a warm year. And if it was cold, this air conditioner, I would turn it around. I would just turn it around and put it on low, and it would put heat in there. You know, it's kind of like a heat pump type thing. But it would get heat off the compressor and all that. And then, of course, it would hit the warm up so it wouldn't freeze. But I always did that. And the deer meat, I'd feed it to people they didn't know. Another thing I hunted was coon a lot. And we ate them. And what I didn't eat, we had an old black fella in town, old crippled guy, and he had a hard time getting out. And we would bring him, he would take as many as we can give him. He loved them. And he was way up in his 90s. He said he'd been eating them since he was a kid. You know, so, and we ate those. Those are good. I used to do a small turkey every year. I'd get like a 14-pound, and then I'd get about the same size raccoon, and I'd put them in the same pot and roast them. So, But I want to tell you too about something about the chicken. We've been getting these really nice chickens here now. Good price, and they're nice chickens. They're not crappy looking. The color looks good and everything. Some of the cheap chickens here, they're not fed right. But these ones look really good. And we take a big onion, and that's what we put in the middle instead of stuffing it. And I'll tell you what, it sweetens the meat really good, and keeps it real juicy. The breast meat stays real juicy. I always cook it the breast side down at first, and then when that releases, I flip it over. I always like to put a little bit of cayenne powder, pepper, a little bit of salt on there, and it comes out just super. We do it for about an hour in that. I got one of them air cookers. Some people call them air fryers or whatever, but we use that. It's cheap to run. We don't notice anything on the electric bill. I'd like to get another one, because right now we're just using pots. It had a glass bottom that broke, and I saw one that is it's got a stainless steel base. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy that one here pretty soon. It's not that much money, under $40 for a nice one. And the brand we got, it's a Hanabishi. We've had this thing for seven years, I think, almost 8 years, and no trouble. Only thing, we broke the bottom bowl, so we use our pressure cooker bottom to put it in. Then we got a rack in there, so you get the chicken up off and the air circulates good. But that was, just yesterday. I don't know if somebody slipped me a jolly pill or whatever, but it was just such a wonderful and happy day. We were getting some bike ride. We got out without being locked up and stopped. We figured, okay, we'll go. If they stop us and tell us to go home, we'll go home. But nobody did. And we didn't see any checkpoints anywhere. Nothing. Nobody was bothering anybody. The mask wearing was still about 50%, I'd say. Most of them had it down. But the one thing that happened when we were going, and this is it's endemic of the Philippines. There's a road we take to go over to SNR. It's a 2-lane, and it's both ways. Now, the first part of it, there's a big sign blocking it off where the people have to turn right, the oncoming lane. Well, they don't. They go around the sign into your lane, and they don't stop. They'll block it off, and they'll block off both lanes when they get to the intersection. And then when you get past that sign, people park right in the lane. So now you've got cars coming. They have to go around those cars. And there's big signs saying fines and all this, but they don't fine anybody. They just let them do whatever they want here. So I blame a lot of the problems on these traffic cops not doing a job they should be. We watched one traffic cop yesterday. Oh, you shut up. We watched one traffic cop yesterday. He was standing in the road just talking to somebody. He was talking to somebody in the car, blocking the whole traffic. There was nobody up front. It was his buddy, so he just was standing there for about 5 minutes, and I was beeping the horn, hey! And he was looking at me like he was pissed off. Hey, don't chase the chickens. Come here. Leave them alone. Come on. Leave the chickens alone. She's chasing the man's chicken. They got some beautiful chickens here. They got those big white ones. They'll make some nice drumsticks. But, come on, Shakes! Hey! Shakes! Go get her. Run get her, Maddie. She's chasing these chickens. She'll never catch them. Get up here! We're going to have to stop going this way when these chickens are out. I don't like to put her on a leash. I'm not gonna. She's listening pretty good. She's getting better when I call her. And she's our good little walker. I wanted her to be able to go with the kids because she's watching. We saw a big lizard the other day, and she was watching that. She was all over it. Smart enough to stay away, because the thing wanted to bite her. But that's what I wanted her for. I wanted her for watching for the snakes and alerting us for anything that we miss. And she's turning out to be the most fantastic little pup we've had. We had a dog before this that we had to let go, and I really loved him. We called him Butthole. But he was a Dalmatian and Terrier mix. So he was a mid-sized dog, about a 45-pound dog. And he's the people that got him. They love him to death, and nobody gets in their little yard. That thing is so protective.
Can you turn off the spaghetti?
No. And so he's good. But when we went went over there. He was mine when I got there. He wasn't going to bite or anything. He was happy to see me, and they couldn't get him to listen to save their life. But we raised him from a pup, just like I raised this one. And I do say, when it comes to these dogs and stuff, especially when you're going to have in your house, doesn't matter how big they are, you got to love them up. They learn better, just like children. They learn better with understanding and love than they do with brutality, like some people do. I knew guys who trained coon dogs and foxhounds. Their dog did bad. They beat them. They chased a deer. They just did rotten stuff to them. This one here, she peed on the floor twice, stuck her nose in it. Gave her a bad scolding and put her outside. And guess what? She don't pee or poop in the house no more. She goes by the door. She's starting to learn how to open the door. She's not heavy enough to really open it yet, but she'll go there and push the door open a few times, and we let her out. She runs out and does her business, comes back, always in the grass. So that's really cool. Once all the houses are up, we're going to have to get her a thing. I told my wife I want to put a mesh. Yeah. Okay. I want to put like a mesh thing so she can't get out of the gate, and we'll get her something that she could poo on. We'll get her a poo rug or something easy to clean up. But she's doing fantastic. She's a beautiful pup. She's full of piss and vinegar, just like the kids. She just has a blast. We went by that house over there again. Look at the filth. They just throw their garbage over the fence. They never cleaned it up. You can't shame them into it. Actually, we were coming back, and my son was telling her, "Ooh, look at how those people are all dirty and pigs." And the lady didn't say nothing. I said, "Maddie, that's her house." And he's like, "I didn't know that." I said, "Well, good thing you told her anyway." But I teach these kids, don't throw anything down on the ground. When I don't go for the Filipino mentality, where go the other one, where these people go up to a sorry store and they'll buy something, maybe a pack of smokes or something. Okay, guys, grab the dog. Hold her. Okay, we got a bite coming. Hold her. Morning. Okay. All right, let her go. She likes to chase the bikes, so that's what we got to watch out for, getting caught in the wheels. Mumu ran her over on the bicycle, so she's really wary about being around the bicycle now. So didn't hurt her. She limped a little bit, but it was all a cry for help, because I told her, knock it off, and she went right back on her feet and started running. So she's a ham. She's a dang ham, that's for sure. But we're gonna do the festival today over at Tatai's. It's always a nice party. They got a nice compound there, and we're not gonna stay a real long time or anything, but they're good people. We love Tatai, his whole family. They're just super nice people. He's out here. He's 65 years old, and he's out here busting his tail every day working. He's like the gardener around here. And he takes care of some of he's got a contract with some of the houses where the people just built them for an investment, and they're selling them, like that one for $5 million. And a lot of these houses, they put these prices up, and they're willing to come down. It's negotiable. So, but there's a few of them for sale in here. Some people just built them for investment. Other ones, just like the couple fellas over here, they went out because of the water. They're just so ticked off about this water thing. Now this morning I had water, I think because of the festival, and we keep talking to the lady. I mean, I go down there and tell, hey, we'll call them. No, you get them down here now. This is unheard of, that there's just no water. So they're pretty much now that they got a couple guys that can do it. I even saw the security guard now is doing it. He went in there, because I don't even bother with her anymore. She's a Billy, and we just tell the security guard, and they come right down and turn it on. And they're nice guys. We take as best care of them as we can. Make sure they got stuff good to eat. If we go buy a pizza or something, we always bring them one, and just take care of them. They're good guys. They're watching out for us, and they don't make a lot of money. So whenever we go to the store and pick up something, we always like to pick them up something, buy them a month's supply of coffee for them every payday. And my wife likes to get them that cup of soups. They got that Szechuan cup of soups for them. Those guys seem to like that, so she always buys them like a big case of them. And that's just how we roll with these guys. They're super nice fellas. They're very respectful. We had a bad one in the beginning. And the one thing I didn't like about him is he's hounding my wife for money all the time. Loan me money, loan me money. No. And I was glad when they actually fired him. He was gone for a while, and we were all saying, boy, we're glad he's gone. He was an older guy, probably 45 or something, but he just got annoying. You know, he'd come around the house and just invite himself in and sit down if we were sitting around drinking or something. And it just, I'm generous to a fault, but allow me to offer. You know, don't come in and just because I offered one time. And they'll do that. You know, once you start helping some of these folks out here in the Philippines, they think that they're entitled now. And a lot of them do it. It's a percentage of the population, not a big percentage, but it's a percentage. And this stuff of, you know, asking for money, I hate that. I don't like that at all, because we don't really know them. Our friends that say, hey, you know, we need some help or something like that, yeah, we can do that, you know. And but I only ever do it once. I only ever do it one time, because if they don't pay back, it's never going to happen again. And that's happened to a few, and that's just the way it goes. But me, I get out in the morning. I get out of breath because I just had breakfast. I started the spaghetti. I've got this health thing fixed up. I did eat a little bit of cheese. We got some cheese from S&R, and it was some good cheese, Saggio, and I ate that, and that always clogs me up. But I do like cheese. I know I shouldn't eat it, but I like to have you know, a little bit of cheese from time to time. And you don't see a Saggio cheese often. And when I was at S&R, they had a brick of it, and I said, I got to get that. You know, we all like it. You know, we don't eat it every day, but it does clog me up, and then I get this breathing thing because of the mucus. So, not much I can do about it other than just don't eat it, because I pay for it. But I guess I'm not as bright as I should be. But everything else is going really good here, guys. I hope everything's going well with you. And don't forget this fight that's going on. This is something that's in God's hand. And never, if you look all through history, at least in my time and my parents' time and I don't think all the things were arrayed to the end times like they are now. Now, the good Lord can change his mind. He can do that at any time if we drop to our knees and accept the mint, guys. It's what you got to do, because we can't fight this battle. We can't. You can't fight against Satan. You will lose. The only way you can fight him is put on the armor of God, and don't worry about it. He's got your back, and when you got God having your back, no man can be against you. No entity, no anything can be against you. So that's what you got to do. You got to drop to your knees and pray to him. Thank him for every breath you got. And I thank him for all these beautiful little babies. And what are you guys going to say? Come on over here. What are you? All right, guys. Take care.